acclimatization period. I don't know if it could be any warmer for the first 5 days, not just for one single day, but just the residual effect. It's been really hot out here for 5 days, and coming out here today in full pads, thought it was the most energy we had yet. Thought we had some energy about us. I think understand everybody's tired and hurting a little bit, and everybody's sore, but everybody's pushing through it, and we need each other to get through this. And I thought there was a lot of energy, there was a lot of leadership today, a lot of the intangibles and those things that we talk about looking for and that the great football teams possess. And so we just got to keep pushing. Still a long time to evaluate. Way too early to evaluate, I'll say it that way. But really like the way they came out here and practiced today and the way they're pushing through the heat and kind of helping each other through it.
Too early to evaluate. Is there anything you really gathered as far as any particular group or any
our D-line has a chance to be pretty decent. I think our linebackers are the biggest surprise. There have been a lot of new additions that I think are really give us a lot more people to work with. When I look at the addition of Daniel Cobb, when I look at Tony Johnson, obviously Nick Thomason and Villamez, when I look at Trang and Feet and Ty Hook, I mean, all of a sudden what was really we had 2 linebackers when we got here, 3 linebackers when we got here. Now there's about 7 or 8 of them running around. So I think that's the position that I think probably has made the most improvement from the day we've got here has been the linebacker position. And then I like the secondary. They just got to keep getting better. They're young. As far as the wide receivers are concerned, I think it's still too early. We're rolling a lot of guys at this point. It's going to come down to who can make some plays one-on-one and who can block. The quarterbacks, I think it's a tight 2-man race right now, though I think Paul Harris is doing some good things. Offensive line still is kind of like the receivers. A lot of names right now, but who those 5 are going to be, I'm not sure at this point. So, I mean, right now I think there's some good competitions going on, but it's still way too early to start making evaluations and say who's got what position, but we do have some competition going on across the board.
When you look at those young defensive backs on your roster,
yeah,
what really has stood out other than their youth?
They're talented. I mean, they're talented. They have a chance to be pretty good when I look at a lot of those young guys, but yeah, they're young. I mean, the best thing about freshmen and sophomores is they become juniors and seniors one day. And that's what scares you the most about having young players back there is just the lack of experience and game experience and being out there. And the first time they have a chance to do it is going to be at NC State on television. And so from that standpoint, it's a little bit scary, but all you can do is train them the best you can and make sure that you can be as good as they can be by the time we get to the first game. Just keep pushing hard.
You probably feel like a broken record player as many times you probably said Trent Taylor's name over and over this week. Yeah. Again, he had another big day today.
He did. He's had a big day almost every day, and it's to the point when even a lot of the older players that are out here are talking about he's really going to be pretty special. I mean, he can make some plays and he do some things, but I think he's a football player. I mean, that's the best thing you can say about him. He's tough. He's physical. He runs great routes. He's got great little fundamentals. But I think he's got to catch the ball. He competes his tail off. He's got athleticism. So I think Trent has a chance to be a really good football player for us.
And a guy that kind of got some new life when Eddie Johnson went down is Scott Cathcart. He's really had a great couple of 3 days. Talk about his play.
Yeah, Scott has done a nice job. I think Greenwald and Cathcart both went through spring practice and have done a nice job for us. But I think they've done a nice job all the way through spring ball. But they've really had to stand up now that Eddie Johnson's out. They've really had to step up and come to the forefront. And they've got less guys rolling at that position, and they're getting more reps, and more opportunities. But instead of complaining about it, they're making the most of it. They're doing a good job. And they're getting better.
Any idea on how much time Eddie could miss?
No, at this point I don't know. I just know it's not broken. I know it's not broken, so at that point we're just waiting to see. It's going to be kind of swelling and just find out how he responds to some treatment.
Is it an ankle?
It is.
And all 4 of your running backs really have had some bright spots, or even 5 when you look at Boston Scott. Just talk about your running backs.
Well, we know what Kenneth Dixon can do on the field. We've seen what he can do on the field, but what's impressed me about him the most is just the work habits that he's come into this season with. It'd be easy for him to be pretty comfortable at this point and say, well, look at what I've done. But yet he's coming out here and working extremely hard. I don't think there's any doubt that Tevin King is full speed, and watching him come out here and run and cut and the things that he's doing right now. I think Seats and Martin both have done a good job. And like you said, Scott, it's really nice to see him come out here, and he's been a great addition. Is that it?
That's good.